Done. Perfect. So now what I'll do is I'll open developer console. So to open developer console in a new tab, what you can do is you can right click here and you can open it in a new tab. Mhm. So I opened it in a new tab and you should go to debug. So in the debug, today we'll see concept called loops. So what do you mean by loops? So previously we saw, my voice is clear to you, right?
Yes.
So previously we saw conditional statements. So conditional statements means that the purpose of conditional statements is if some condition is true, we should give some output. True means we should give some output. If false means we should not give anything. So based on single condition, we given an output in a conditional statements. But my requirement is now I need to check some condition iteratively. Continuously, I need to check condition and I need to give an output. Let's suppose my requirement is I should give all the values which are ending with 3 in the range of 1 to 100. Let's suppose. So if you have such kind of requirement, means if you want to check some condition for a specific range of values, at the time we should go with the loops. So coming to the loops, first type of loop is do while loop. As I told you, whenever you want to learn some concept, if you don't know anything, what you can do is you can go to developer documentation. So for what I'm doing is loops in X. So I'm opening developer guide. So coming to the first loop, you can see this is a, so I'm opening this thing in a new tab, do while, or else if you scroll down, you can see what are the different loops and what are the loop terminating statements are present, everything it is giving. So by default in the main page, I'm opening do while one. So it will, there you can see the syntax and example. The structure will be very easy. So first, the structure will be, first we should specify a do keyword. And here, whatever the logic you want to perform, whatever the thing you want to do, here you should write a code logic. Core logic you should write here. After do, you should have a while block. So coming to the while block, here you should specify a condition. You should specify a condition. Based on condition, if you want to perform anything further, you can do it inside this. So it's the basic structure of do while. So if you don't know, you can look at here. Do, here you can specify code block. In a while, you can specify a condition. So while condition only, so we should need not to give this stuff. Okay, so it's a logic. So we'll see if any example given by him. So here he gave a simple example. So shall we go through the same example? Yes, we'll do that. So now what he is doing is he is defining some integer. First integer I equals to, let's suppose I'll give 1. After that, so coming to the do while block, irrespective of the condition, initially it will go to do block. So before checking the while condition also, it will give output for one instance. So to see the output, we'll be having system.debug statement. In the debug statement, what I want to do is, I want to print I value. What I want to do? I want to print I value. And any condition, every logic or complete logic, we should build in a do block only. So if you have any condition, you should specify that condition. So after taking I value, I should increment I value by 1. So I plus plus is nothing but incrementing I by 1 only, right? So I'm incrementing I by 1. So same thing you can implement like this also. I equals to I plus 1. Both will give same meaning. Okay. So now after performing this logic, here what I need to do is we should print values in a specified range. Let's suppose I want to compare or I want to perform increment till 10. Means here we should specify condition like 10. Any doubts in this? In this small example?
Oh no, yeah.
So it's very easy example. Now what I'm doing is I'm executing this code. Once we execute, here log file will be generated. We can open this log file. So debug only and okay. So here you can see 1 to 10. We got all the values in the range of 1 to 10. So now what I'll do is with the same type of example, I don't want to go with the same example. What I'll do is I'll take another example. Which example will take? So Fizzbuzz example shall we try? Okay, so Fizzbuzz example we'll try with this. So question is very simple, straightforward question I'll write. So you should check the condition in between 1 to 100. 1 to 100 is our range of values, let us assume. So in the range of 1 to 100, so first we need to check whether the number is divisible with 3 or not. The number is divisible with 3. If number is divisible with 3, any number is divisible with 3, I should print an output like this. If it is divisible with 5, if it is divisible with 5, we should print output like Fizzbuzz. If it won't satisfy both the condition, we should give an output like that number. So let's suppose if you consider a sequence like 1, which is not satisfying both the conditions, we should display 1 only. 2, which will satisfy no condition. Again 2. 3 means we should display output like fizz. 4, no condition will be satisfied. 5, in place of 5, we need to give output like fizzbuzz. So that is a requirement. So tell me how we can implement it. Initially, we need to initialize a starting number. Int is a equals to some number. Let's suppose we are starting with 1. Then next, we should specify do condition. In the do, we need to implement a logic. In the do,
If condition, right? If condition.
If which
Yeah.
condition we should
I
use? So
A
if
percentile.
math dot. So here we'll be having modulus function. By taking help of
Okay.
mod function, we can do it. So to know more about it, you can go to Math Apex class developer guide so that you'll get that complete information. Okay, math.mod of. In this, we'll be having two parameters. First parameter is a variable, and second parameter is with which value you are checking divisibility. So initially, I am checking divisibility with 3. If this condition is satisfied, what I'll do is I'll do 0. If the remainder is 0, then what we should do
It should print fizz.
is. So initially
System
we'll
code.
check divisibility with 5, right? So that it will be much good. Y means 5 in place of 5, sometimes some number will be divisible with 5 and 3. At that time also it should give output like fizzbuzz. Let's suppose if you consider 15. 15 is, or else we'll change a condition. If it is, yeah, we'll change a condition like if 5 means it should give output like buzz. And 3 and 5 means if it is divisible with both, then we should print
Fizzbuzz.
output like fizzbuzz. Makes sense, right?
Yes.
So if it is divisible with 3, fizz. Divisible with 5 means buzz. Both means fizzbuzz. So here initially we'll check both the condition. Okay. So here we should specify and. in this and, so I'm copying complete thing. Okay, so here in place of 5, I'll keep 3. So here we are checking divisible with 3 and divisible with 5. If both the conditions are satisfied, what we should print? System dot debug
Whiz bus.
bus.
Jacob, one parenthesis is missing, I think, for the first condition.
For which condition? Do a
No, if is a parenthesis okay?
here we can keep extra.
Okay, okay.
Oh, sorry, what happened?
You gave 0 instead.
Good. So make sense?
Yeah.
Then perfect. So if any errors will come, we'll resolve those. No worries. Else if we should check condition with a 5 only. If it is divisible with this, we should give an output like buzz. Similarly, I'll copy paste same block. Else if it is divisible with 3, we should display output like buzz. Here we should display fizz only, right? Okay. So now what else we can do? Yeah, it's inside the condition block only. I think we should close it.
Jacob, I think for 5 it is buzz, right? For 3 it is fizz.
Whatever it might be.
Okay.
Change the logic. Else. Okay. In a else, what we'll do? We'll print a number directly.
Number.
Yeah, right? Number means perfect. So it is only the code, right? So now we implemented a logic in a do block. So the next we should write a while block after do, isn't it? So here
Yeah.
I'm going to write while. Yes. While till which number you
Less
want to check a
than,
condition?
less than or equal to 100.
Yes. So this is logic. Any doubts on this? So what we did is whatever the logical part you want to do, we should do inside a do block. Okay. And after the logical part, let's suppose if you want to check any condition, we should specify that condition in a while block. Okay. So now I'll execute this block now. I'll highlight till this portion and I'll execute it now. Variable does not exist. I used I somewhere where I used mistakenly. Where I used I?
You initialize the while, right? I think a less than or equal to 100 while condition.
Yes. Execute highlighted. Okay, what I'll do is, yeah. Then it is running. CPU timeout exception means it is not able to take these many lines of debug statements. Okay, what we'll do is we'll reduce the size. So I think oh shit, we ran an unlimited loop, right? So we did not incremented this thing. Always we are comparing with one. Okay, irrespective of all this stuff, what we should do, we should increment value now. First time it should check condition with 1. Next time it should check condition with 2. Next time it should check condition with 3. So on. It means we should perform increment operation, right?
Yeah, plus.
Otherwise, what happens is it will create an infinite loop. If it creates an infinite loop means it will always check the condition with 1. And this will be non-terminable, means it won't terminate anywhere. It means every time this condition is satisfied. 1 means every time this condition is 1 is always less than or equals to 100, right? That's why like it will iterate in this loop only, and it created a CPU limit, CPU timeout exceeded limit, that exception. Remember, that is an error when we'll get if our code runs continuously. At the time we'll get Apex CPU time limit exceeded error. Now we'll get an output. Yes, you can see now. Perfect. So you can see 1, 2 buzz, 4 fizz. Then next, what it is? 6 means it is divisible with 3 buzz, 7, 8 buzz, fizz. So 15 fizz buzz. Like this, we are getting output. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing is here, what you should understand is, so coming to the do while, you should remember one thing, that is like whenever you use do while block, so irrespective of this condition, irrespective of this while condition, this do block will execute for the first time. To make you understand that stuff, what I'll do is, in place of 1 here, I'll give 130, let's suppose. So coming to the 130, this condition fails always. Irrespective of this condition, it will check this logic for the first time. So now what I'll do is I'll execute this code to justify the statement. Execute this one. One log file is generated now. Debug only. You can see fizz means it is executing for one time, isn't it? So irrespective of the condition, irrespective of the while condition, do block will execute for the first time. You should remember that thing regarding this do while loop. Okay. So the next we'll see the structure of while loop. Clear about like you are clear with do while right now? So the structure of while loop is we should initialize the value first. Same thing. And whatever the next after initialization, we should use while keyword. And here we should specify a condition. However, we specified first. After specifying a condition, we should do like any logical operations you want to perform, you can perform here. And if you have any statements also, you need to write those statements here itself. So it is a structure. Increment or decrement or any condition also we should write here. Increment or decrement or condition. So I'll explain you the same example which you did to print the numbers in the range of 1 to 10. Same Fizzbuzz example, you'll try with this while loop. Can you able to do it?
Yes.
Yes. So I'll keep it in a comments as of now. Multiple line comments in an Apex, we'll write with this multi-line comments. So first we need to initialize the value. How we initialize the value? Integer I equals to spelling mistake in integer. That's why it is not recognizing. Perfect. Integer I equals to 1. While till which portion you want to take a number, you can write it here. So I want to check a condition till 10. So after this condition, what I'll do is I'll print a value. System dot debug. So here in a debug, what we should do? We should print I. After printing I should perform increment operation. Okay, now this will be well and good. So now here, first we initialize the value. The next we are specifying the condition. Based on this condition, whenever this condition is satisfied, then only it will enter into this logical block. After printing this statement, what we are doing is we are modifying the I value. It means we are incrementing I value. It means iteratively, if this after completing this incrementation, we'll check this condition again. So we'll check this condition till this condition fails. How many times this condition is satisfied, that many times we'll iterate through the loop. That many values, it will give in an output. Okay, it is similar to do while only, but in a do while, what we did, logical portion we wrote in a do block and condition only we specified in a while block. But here, everything will specify in a while only. Missing semicolon somewhere. Where we miss? I think here we should specify it in a quotations. Parenthesis. You can see 1 to 10 it is giving output. So same thing, whatever we did with the do while, same Fizzbuzz example, you'll try with a while loop so that you'll get much hands-on. So it's a syntax, same syntax, while condition code block. In a code block, you can write logic, whatever you require. Here also you took same easiest example. You can go through that example. The next thing is for loop. It's a very important loop and most preferably and most of the times in a real time, we'll use this for loop. So the basic structure of for loop is this. So first what we can do is, so coming to the while loop or do while loop, what we did is we did initialization, incrementation in a different places. Whereas coming to the for loop, we'll do all this stuff in a single instance. So basically, for loop used for collections. To easily iterate through collections or as object data types, we'll use for loop. So prior going to the how to use it in collections, you should know what is the traditional structure for it. Okay. So to know the traditional stuff of it, what we can do is, so you should know the syntax first. For in this first what you should do is we should perform initialization operation. Initialization action we should do. After initialization with semicolon, you should specify a condition. Which condition you are checking. After condition, which operation you are performing, increment or decrement or any condition. You can specify, sorry, increment or decrement. You can specify that stuff here. So it's a basic structure, I think, and in the brackets in a parenthesis, whatever the logic you have to implement or you want to implement, you can implement that. So you can see that structure here. Initialization statement, exit condition, increment statement. So I think she has given same example, whatever we kept there. So we'll see the same example mostly. We'll do the same thing. So now I'll keep it in a comments and I'll implement a logic. So now what I'll do is I need to print the numbers in the range of 1 to 10. So for that we have to initialize integer I equals to 1 semicolon. We should take the numbers till 10 only. What happened? I less than or equals to 10. Then next I'll say I plus plus. So here what I'll do is I want to print the output system dot debug of I. So you can see how easy it is. So we are reducing a lot of lines from this while or do while. So most of the cases for is having a easiest syntax and so we can write easily any loop with a for loop. But whatever the loop you're comfortable, you can use that loop. There's no restriction to use this one and that one. Okay, where we have a mistake, saying something is missing. Yeah, we did not took this thing into the consideration. Any doubts on this for loop?
No, Yakub.
It's easy only, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So it's about the output. So however we did, what you can do is try the same example. Fizzbuzz example we had now. Same Fizzbuzz example, try with this for loop as well. Okay. You can able to
Okay.
do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next will be having loop terminators. And we'll see that yeah, first we'll complete loop terminators. So where I think he mentioned it. Switch statements, huh? We'll see. Switch statements we saw, I think. Yeah, switch statements is different one. Loops, we'll see the collections one first. So whenever you want to iterate through any collection, it's a easiest structure. It's a easy, easier structure means easily we can iterate through any collection. The structure is whenever you want to iterate through the collections, first I'll explain you that. So the structure is for keyword, variable, colon, collection, name. It's the easiest structure to iterate through any collection. And here you can write a statement. So to justify this line, what I'll do is I'll implement a collection and I'll show you so that you'll understand. Let's suppose I want to create a list with the strings. So this is my list name and I'll create my new list. So here in this, I want to pass a values. Let's suppose first value is Sridhar. Second value is Prithvi. Third value is Monica. Let's suppose I'll be having three values in this collection. Now my requirement is I want to iterate through this collection. I want to iterate through this collection. To iterate through this collection, what we can do is I want to define a for loop. So while defining for loop, we should check which data type values present inside this collection. So this collection contains string values, no? So every value in this, it is a string. I need to iterate through all these values. So for that, what I'll do is I'll say string variable name is, let's suppose I'm saying like S. After this, with a colon, we should specify this collection name. Specify the collection name. So here, what we can do is we'll specify system.debug statement. So for the conditions you want to write, you can write the conditions. But here, as of now, to understand this loop, basically, we need not to keep any conditions. This thing is clear. This example, how I written. Simple.
Yeah.
Collection. Whenever you want to iterate through any collection, what you can do is you can specify that collection name left side, right side of the for loop, and which type of data you are having in the collection. You can initialize variable with that data type, and you can specify some variable. For every instance, it will display that current value. So for the first iteration, it will give Sridhar. Next time it will give Prithvi. Then next it will give Monica. Now I'll execute it and I'll show you the output. I'm executing it. Some log file is generated. Debug only. So you can see Sridhar, Prithvi, Monica. Any doubts on this?
Uh, Jakub, we defined that S variable, right? So can we initialize that as a string outside of the loop
Outside of the loop means?
after list?
No, you can't do na. So what if you want to get this value, you should define here itself. Whereas what you can do is like you can store this data, you can add it into another list and you can display it anywhere wherever you want.
Okay.
So it's about the basics of loops. Tomorrow we'll see control structures means break, continue, and pass statements we're having. We'll discuss that stuff first, and we'll jump into any new concept. So tomorrow onwards, we are jumping into a really useful concepts. So this one is very useful. This structure, remember, it's very, very important. Most of the times we'll use inside the collections.
Yeah.
Okay. So practice it. I'll forward you this notes and I'll add a recorded session also in a drive. Okay.